How are you once again, my students? I've brought another problem on relative speed. A bus leaves Mombasa for Nairobi at 6 a.m., traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. A car leaves Mombasa for Nairobi at 8 a.m., traveling at 120 kilometers per hour. So this means that the bus began 2 hours earlier than the car. The difference between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. is 2 hours. Both of them are moving from Mombasa to Nairobi. So they're asking us to calculate the distance from Nairobi to the point when the car catches up with the bus. If the distance between Mombasa and Nairobi is 500 kilometers. So even if the bus began the journey earlier than the car, as long as the car is traveling at a higher speed than the bus, it will just catch up with the bus. So let us start by finding the gap between these two vehicles. The gap is in terms of time and distance. Let's say this is Mombasa and this is Nairobi, 500 kilometers apart. So, first of all, we know that the bus began the journey 2 hours earlier than the bus because it was 6 a.m. and later on 8 a.m. the car began the journey. So the gap between the bus and the car is 2 hours. So time taken by bus is 2 hours before the car starts the journey. And in these 2 hours, we can get the distance covered by the bus. Distance covered by bus in 2 hours. Distance is given by speed times time. Speed of the bus in this case. The speed of the bus here is 80 kilometers per hour. So you take 80 times. Time is 2 hours. So that distance is 160 kilometers. So what does this one tell us? That the bus is 160 kilometers ahead of the car. Or just when the car starts moving from Mombasa to Nairobi, the bus has already covered 120 kilometers. Let us also find relative speed. Are these two vehicles moving towards the same direction or opposite direction? We are told that they are both moving from Mombasa to Nairobi, so same direction. And for you to get relative speed when two objects are moving in the same direction, it is the difference. Higher speed minus lower speed. In this case, the higher speed is that of the car, which is 120. The lower speed is that of the bus, which is 80. Kilometers per hour. So 120 minus 80 gives 40 kilometers per hour. Now the next step, we need to know the time taken by the car to catch up with the bus. Time taken by car to catch up with the bus. Time is given by distance over speed. And the distance we are talking about here is the relative distance, the distance apart. The distance apart in this case is 160 kilometers. The distance between the car and the bus is 160 kilometers. Divide by relative speed, which is 40 kilometers per hour. When you work out this one on your calculator, you're going to get 4 hours. So what does this one tell us? That the car will take 4 hours for it to catch up with the bus. Now, we can from here we can get the distance by car, taken by car in 4 hours. Because it has to catch up with the bus, so it is covering some distance. And what is that distance? So distance taken by, covered by car to catch up with the bus, that is in 4 hours. Distance is given by speed times time. And since we are talking about car, we talk about speed of the car. The speed of the car in this case is 120 kilometers per hour. So let us substitute here 120 kilometers per hour times time is 4 hours. So when you work out this one on your calculator, 120 times 4 hours, you get 480 kilometers. So this means that the car covered 480 kilometers before it caught up with the bus. But we've been told that the distance between Nairobi and Mombasa is 500 kilometers. So at this point is when the car caught up with the bus. So we need to find the remaining distance from the catching up point to Nairobi. So that is remaining distance to Nairobi. Remaining distance to Nairobi. So the total distance between Nairobi and Mombasa is 500 minus 480. That is, this one gives 20 kilometers. So this is the distance. They have asked us to calculate the distance from Nairobi to the point when the car catches up with the bus. And this is 20 kilometers.